Today I'm finally taking a look at the JamesDonkey A3, and yeah, it is another 75% compact layout with a knob, but it does come with pretty good features and mods. The box comes with this white and grey color which looks clean in my opinion, and it has an outline of the keyboard on it alongside a few details and specs about the keyboard too. And this keyboard was sent over by Novi Keyboard. They're a keyboard seller here in Malaysia, so links will be down in the description below. You can check them out. And as for the things included in the box, you get the A3 Eagle user manual, some extra gaskets and an Allen key, a small but functional blue screwdriver, a decent keycap puller and a not so good switch puller, a color matched braided Type A to Type C charging cable, feels pretty solid, and the 2.4 GHz dongle in white. The keyboard here feels solid in hand, and weighing it's around 960 grams, which is just below 1 kg. Mine comes in this beige color here, and it has a retro theme to the whole build. From the top, this is how it looks like. It's the typical 75% layout with a knob. This is the side profile of the keyboard. You can see the OEM profile keycaps here and the two-tone color design of the keyboard. Plus, if you don't like the height, you can extend it with the height adjustable feet here on the bottom of the keyboard, and there's two heights to it. It's the same with the other side with the knob, and the knob here feels great too. The front of the keyboard is clean with no logos, and on the back is where you can see the two-tone color design again, and you have your USB Type-C connection port, and a toggle to switch in between 2.4 GHz mode, wide mode, and the Bluetooth mode. On the bottom of the keyboard, you get the 4 rubber feet on the corners, the 2 height adjustable feet here previously mentioned, and in the middle here is a JamesDonkey A3 sticker. My version only has white backlighting, but it's the same with the RGB version. You can toggle through the lighting modes by holding down the function and tab key. And there's also a software to configure this keyboard mode. In the software, in the custom key tab, you can adjust the top layer and the function layer here of the keyboard, adjust your macros or record them in the software in the macro manager tab, try the different lighting modes and adjust the brightness, speed and direction in the light effects tab, customize your own lighting in this tab right here, which is pretty interesting. And you also can sync up the lighting on the keyboard with some music or audio through this music tab right here. Pretty cool in my opinion. It does react to the audio coming from the computer. And in the settings here, you can reset the keyboard and update the firmware as well. The two-tone retro color does carry on to the keycaps here. They are double shot PBT keycaps and they feel great in my opinion, and the double shot thickness here is pretty good too. I like the colors here. It really looks like an old or retro keyboard, and the fact that the functions are also printed onto the keys that have them is a bonus. At first glance, the switches here appear to be Gateron yellow switches, but they're actually made by JamesDonkey themselves. I can't really find much information on them, but I think they are spec'd similarly to the Gateron yellows. They have this yellow stem in the middle with a transparent top housing and a white bottom housing, and its 3-pin hot swap. And they also appear to be slightly looped from the factory. The steps included here are great. They are screw-in stabilizers and they come looped and don't rattle during the typing sound test. Great stuff from JamesDonkey here. Moving on to the mods included, I think they are good too. And to see the mods, you have to remove the 8 screws holding the keyboard together and of course the knob on top. This is the close-up of the knob. It's made out of metal and it has this texture on it and it feels pretty good. And disassembling the keyboard, there are going to be 3 main parts here, and remember to unplug the daughter board from the PCB. So taking a look at the main part here, which is the plate and PCB combo. From the back, it's surprisingly an all-white theme PCB. Even the KL hot swap sockets here are white in color. And this rectangle here actually holds the battery and it clips into the PCB. It's my first time seeing this kind of design and I think it's pretty interesting here. And in between the plate and the PCB, you can see this piece of white foam included. This is to help with sound dampening. And there's also a thin piece of film sitting on top of the PCB here too in this transparent white color. The sides is where you get to see the gaskets and they're attached like this. The bounce here is pretty decent and it does flex when you're typing. In the bottom part of the case, there's this huge piece of silicone dampener here. It's really thick and flexible. I was not expecting this. Other than that, on the top left here is the daughter board and it connects to the PCB. The top ramp here doesn't house anything and it's pretty bare bones and it just looks like this. So those are the mods included in this JamesDonkey Pre-built edition and I think it's pretty great. Now let's hear how it sounds. So here are my final thoughts on the JamesDonkey A3 keyboard. Overall, it's a pretty great kit, especially for the model I have right here. With all the mods included like the loop switches, loop stabilizers, silicone sound dampeners and the foam included, it makes the keyboard sound pretty good. But it is a little muted in my opinion. I don't really like that. I prefer a more talky or louder keyboard. But there's one thing that I don't like but may not be a problem to most people, is that there's no place to hold the 2.4 GHz dongle and you just have to carry it around by itself. And that's basically my only complaint here. It's a great looking keyboard and being priced at around $90 you'll definitely be happy with this as your daily driver. So if you're interested in this JamesDonkey A3, I'll be providing links in the description below so you can check them out if you want to get one. And thanks again to Novi Keyboard for sending this over too. Do check them out, links will be in the description below as well. And that wraps up this video guys. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, even more reviews coming very soon. And as always, thanks for watching, goodbye guys.